Want to stop juggling spreadsheets, calendars, and a dozen apps just to run your rentals? Lodgify makes it easy. It's an all-in-one toolkit for hosts. Build a direct booking website, automate guest messaging, and keep all your channels in sync. Running your rental business your way has never been simpler. And for Good Morning Hospitality listeners, you can get 20% off any yearly plan with code GMH20. Just check the link in the show notes to get started today.
Welcome to Good Morning Hospitality, your one-stop shop for the latest news, noteworthy trends, and thought-provoking discussions across the industry. From hotels to short-term rentals to all things travel and hospitality, you'll find each episode equips you with the information that you need to start your week. Join us on Good Morning Hospitality every Wednesday, wherever you get your podcasts.
Good morning.
Good
Happy
morning.
Wednesday, Sarah.
It's nice to see you.
It's good to see you. And hold on, you're not in your office. Is this a fake background or are you in a real place? Where are you?
No, I'm not in my office. I'm at my friend's house in Phoenix. So
Very nice.
pretty nice.
What brought you to Phoenix?
I actually was a guest on another podcast yesterday, the check-in with Brian. So, and it was great. So we did a little bit of a recording, and then I have my dear friend that lives here, just moved here 2 months ago. So I figured I'll stay the night, hang out with her little kids.
Yep.
Funny, we're actually doing a swap. I'm here and her husband is staying at my place in Los Angeles.
Very nice. That's a new business right there. We got to create an app where, not Airbnb, but I guess friends and families can stay at your place.
Right.
I like it a lot.
Totally.
Well, I haven't been to Phoenix. I would like to visit, but viewers and listeners, let us know where you're watching from. We would love to hear where it is. We got Lou, great to see you, in Chile, Charleston. I can't wait to go back. And Christelle
in LA.
On the road
Driving
to
up to
Santa
Barbara.
Barbara.
Love that.
I'm here live in Miami, and I'll be on a flight Friday, so I get to go. I don't want to. Should I share where I'm going, or should I share when I get back? I can see where I'm going. Yeah.
Is this like your big trip that you've been looking forward to for a while?
Yeah,
that you've
I'm
talked
going to
about?
Italy. Yeah, I'm excited.
Why should you
going.
not share? You're not going to have stalkers following you in Italy.
Oh, yeah. Dove sei? Sono di Miami.
Hey, can I have a
Mi chiamo
signature?
Stefano. È la pizza, por favore.
Oh my God, I want to take a selfie.
I think the LinkedIn user, I think that's Antonio from Miami, because Antonio always gets blocked here live. But for some reason, check your listing
Settings.
and your settings over there. But I'm excited to head out, and yeah. So if you got any tips, anybody, let me know.
All right, I love it. You're
Let
gonna have
me
an
know.
amazing time.
Thank you,
It's
thank
gonna be
you.
great.
Quick trip over there, but it'll
Start
be fun.
using your hands.
Yeah. Thank you, Lou. We're using them, but I'm excited to check out the hospitality there. I've heard so many good things about the restaurants and hotels and just the care everybody has for there. It's supposed to rain every single day that I'm there, which we'll make it work. We'll figure it out.
Yes. Oh my
It'll
gosh.
be all right.
It'll be fine. It'll be good. It'll still be Italy. It'll just be rain in Italy.
Yeah, we'll just make it. We'll romanticize that when we get there. But I am a little concerned about the airlines. I think we had that talk last week, but I think now it's getting better, and I think
you'll be
okay.
fine. I mean, it's still a little bit chaotic, but like for the international flights, you're good.
My friends on Lufthansa, let me know. I'll see you over there in a couple days.
Ooh, that's cool. I mean,
it is. It'll be
I'm
cool.
so excited for you. You're gonna have to take photos. Wait, will you be back by the time that we do our show, or will you do the show from there?
No, I'll be back.
Oh,
quick trip.
I was so excited to.
I know. I gotta come back for that. Meetings and businesses to run, so we'll be back on Wednesday.
Work? Who works?
Who works? Who does that? But
who does that?
Work from there for a couple of days. But talking about a lot of things, we have a lot of stories going on today. Should we jump into some of them?
Yeah, absolutely. We should definitely. So let's get right into it. So first up, Accor. They are the latest luxury brand that is targeting sort of independent hotel owners. What's really interesting with this is they've got a new luxury soft brand, really designed to kind of attract independent hoteliers. and they're positioning it within their luxury and lifestyle division alongside Marriott. Alongside Fairmont, Raffles, Sofitel, and Orient Express, which, by the way, Orient Express is amazing. So this is cool
that's
to
interesting.
see.
Yeah, they're making again another soft brand coming out, but I liked reading what the CEO was saying. They're creating a brand called Emblem, and they're really going after the kind of that independent luxury hotel. And he's like, man, I had to be convinced. I wasn't sure we needed a soft brand. He said after seeing the success of Marriott and how powerful it is to grow your brand and to really generate revenue and to also help those independent hotels, we jumped in. And so, you and I have talked about this on the show and off air. Like, there's so many soft brands, and really, it reminds me again, the power of you build a brand and you can build an engine to get eyeballs on it. And then you can convert those eyeballs into travelers that stay at your properties and get points and rewards.
Yep.
You're going to be making money. So I see that Accor's going to jump in. I like what they're doing. They're keeping it high end. They have to have certain things that they do in those hotels to get into the Emblem group. Like, you have to have a certain amount of outdoor space. You have to have a certain kind of amenities. It's not just anyone can be in. But they've already I think they said 6 hotels that they're working with. Was it 6?
Yeah, I think so.
That they're already starting to launch with. So it will be interesting to see. But what are you thinking? You've seen so many soft brands. We've talked about it a lot. How do you feel when you see another soft brand come out?
Look, at the end of the day, I mean, that's, I think, kind of like the challenge of what a soft brand is, and their existence. The whole reason why people like them is that they're unique, generally, to the destination. They're independent. They're going to be different. So with that, it's not like you can have just one brand that's everything. Within that, you've got all of these different types of brands. Yep. So it's almost like it's like the inherent challenge to the soft brands is that they're constantly going to be like, there's constantly going to be more, because the whole point is they don't want to be like the others, Yes. So yeah, I mean, and we all know that there's so many hotels. So I mean, to me, it just makes sense.
Yeah. And they're saying there's thousands of independent hotels in Europe where, Accor really is based, that don't have that. He said they deserve to have guests staying there. They just don't have the money for social media and marketing and Google AdWords to really spend all of that, some of these independent hotels. So when they join Accor's soft brands or any soft brand, then they start getting that. And they start getting the people that deserve to check out their place. So I like his mentality on it. He wants people to check these cool, interesting, unique hotels and let them keep their identity. And look, I'm staying at a soft brand when I go to Italy. It's a Marriott soft. I forget which part of the collections, because there's so many, right? But I know it's one of the soft brands, and it looks very individualized, and it's historic and in the middle of the action. And I'm excited to experience it. I'm curious to see what it's like as part of the soft brand, if I can notice any of the Marriott touches, or they really go into being an individual hotel and you just get your Bonvoy points.
No, I think you're going to see that it's highly unique, especially in Europe. Look, the thing with Europe and how they approach hospitality is so different than the United States in general, by and large. And I think you're going to come back with a lot of amazing stories, just because they get it. They really lean into the little touches. Last week I did a happy hour with the group from Muse, and one of the marketing individuals told me that she'd just come back from Nice, France. And so she was in Nice and she stayed at a hotel, and I think it was part of the luxury collection under Marriott. And she was telling me about the design was almost inspired by, I think it was a former nunnery. And so like the uniforms were almost inspired, like nun inspired, and all this. And they leaned into it. And then, but more so, she talked about that they had this really special soaps in the bathroom. And then if you opened up this tin, it had a little bag, and it was like soap bag. So you take the soap with you, like stuff like that was just cute and elegant. Like, I mean, she's told so many people about it. So I thought that was such a cute story. And also like wow, what a theme to a hotel too.
Yes, that's very cool. See, and you remembered it. And we see Catherine. Good morning, America. She says, greetings from Europe. Catherine, what country in Europe are you in? I would love to
let us know what country.
That's great. You're watching from.
Well, should we continue on here?
I'll let everyone know how it goes at my soft brand, but I'm cheering Accor on. I like what Accor does. I think they're going to crush it. Keep it going.
Totally. All right. So moving on here, AI is scaling smaller plates. How hotels are fighting food waste and emissions. So hotels are basically leveraging AI tools, as they should be for many different things, to monitor plate waste. I like this. Forecast demand and then ultimately optimize menus to reduce emissions. So I think this is a very clever way of using AI. But yeah, talk to me what you think about this.
Look, as a former food and beverage director, I'll say
Yes,
here, I wish I had tools like this because, look, food cost and labor are really your two biggest drivers in the expense line.
sure.
And from this angle of sustainability, which I was big into and still am, it's huge, especially when you've all experienced it, right? You go to the buffet, you're on vacation, you load up that plate. All right, I'm gonna get a second plate because I'm on vacation. You load that plate up, and then all of a sudden you're throwing all that away. And
Mhm.
even bigger is when you at the end of that shift, you have to get rid of all this food. And that always made
Yeah.
me so sad. I used to think, look at all those chicken breasts we're throwing into the garbage and all the bacon and all these meats. These were animals that sacrificed their life for us to dine, and now into the garbage.
Yep.
And so there's ways to mitigate that, and you start understanding the flow of your business, but it's really guessing. It's educated guesses every time. And cruise ships do a great job at it right now. They know how to order pretty close to what they want, but hotels don't have the same tools as cruise ships
Mhm.
where you know exactly how many people are going to be on your ship as you would have in a hotel. Is different. People come and go. And so you have to order to that. So now using this, I love it. They're saying, hey, guess what? Your croissants, we noticed on the camera, are getting half eaten and thrown out. So just shrink the croissant. You still get the taste of that croissant. You still get the bite of that croissant, but you're not having the waste going into the garbage.
Can you
Right.
say
And
the word
so
croissant one more time? Because it's so fun.
croissant. Is it my Miami accident?
You just no. You just said it like 3 times in a row, and it was
Croissant.
just
You still get it. Okay.
I have a
However,
little bracelet that has a croissant on it.
look
Anyway,
at you.
yeah, so there.
Croissant.
Croissant.
But they also, I love, suggest a little bit smaller plates. So a lot of the plates, you don't notice if it shrinks an inch or two. And then that also still gives you the feeling of your plate is full and you're
Smart.
not throwing as many things away. It's just crazy the amount of waste, especially for the ones watching in hotels. Who works in a hotel? Tell me when you walk around the back of house, there's water running, there's
Mhm.
garbage piling up with stuff that you could have
Mhm.
used somewhere else. It's just amazing to see how much waste a hotel creates. And if you can get to net zero, like they're talking about here at some of the hotels in this article, it really does make a huge difference. One, for your bottom line, because you're saving on food, right? You don't have the labor cooking up all this food that's going to get thrown away anyway. So you're tightening up on labor. And then when your garbage gets picked up, it's not as heavy. So they're not charging you as much to get your garbage out. So there's savings all throughout.
Yeah.
Catherine, you like how I say it? Croissant? Croissants.
No, don't say croissants.
Croissant? A croissant.
Croissant.
All right.
You
All
don't have to
right.
get you don't have to get too crazy. You don't have to get too crazy.
So what do you
I
think about this? You worked in hotels. I know you weren't in food and beverage, but what did you think when you
Oh,
kind
I
of
was
walked through
always in
your
the kitchen.
hotels? I know you're always getting snacks. Let me taste. What are you working on
Totally.
here?
Totally. Uh, look, I mean, I mean, you hit the nail on the head with it. It's like obviously it's a big cost. There's a lot of waste. It's a shame. People love to have options like buffets and even like breakfast,
Mhm.
where we don't in general in the US, we don't offer breakfast as much as they do in Europe. Europe, it's really considered it's standard, and other parts of the world. So and then it depends on the property here in the United States. But food waste is a challenge. And I mean, that's also what factors into the cost of like what the dish would cost and all of that. So to me, I think this is a fantastic use of AI. And I feel like we're going to see a lot more of these on how it's all about being efficient. How can we
Yes.
be more efficient or, more cost effective or more sustainable? And I'm loving seeing this. So it's great.
I have a business idea for everybody out there. Anyone, call
Oh,
me. All right. This is
oh,
a big one. I've won. And now with AI, we're starting to get there with technology. Inventory. When I say inventory, I'm talking about your glass, your china, your silver is the
mhm.
hardest thing I've had to do in mega resorts because you have to count everything by hand. And so it takes
Ah,
days at the end of every single month to go through how many plates you have, how many silverware, how many pots and pans. So if anyone's out there and we could figure this out with AI, let me know. You're going to make a fortune because it would save hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of people's time, which would add up over time. So
Yep.
call your guy over here.
Oh, you guy with all the $1 million ideas. You're literally like $1 million idea machine.
I throw it out there. I just don't have the time to do it. So if someone can do that in back of house, let's make it happen.
Totally. Okay, let's move on to our next topic here. Expedia's group, their B2B engine is gaining momentum as basically as consumer business sort of stabilizes. So we've talked about this a lot. B2B, like business travel, is definitely increasing. And so their B2B segment is really driving growth. And it's interesting because apparently, so B2B revenue has been for a while now one of Expedia's strongest performing divisions, but yeah, so this is an interesting sort of like pilot as they kind of like are pivoting pretty much as like the platform's kind of changing.
It's interesting to see, right? Because they're not getting as many customers booking on Expedia. They're growing, but not at the pace that they were, and so they're saying, hey, businesses, do you want to advertise on Expedia? Can we give you more tools for you to get people into your hotels? And I was on the page that shows all the business offerings they have, and it makes sense, right? You want to hyper focus on the clientele that you want, and how can we help you get there as a hotel operator? And they're teaming up with the credit cards, and even now, when you type in ChatGPT, I haven't used some of the AI tools. That's what they pull up as Expedia, and I'm sure that wasn't by coincidence. So it's interesting to see how Expedia keeps to growing. It's just interesting to me. Like, I don't book on really any other OTA other than, I use American Express when I like to travel. I like using my points there. But are you using any OTAs, or do you have people that say they use OTAs? Because these are gigantic businesses that still continue. I guess Airbnb would be one that comes to mind as someone that always books through there.
I mean, so historically, traditionally, before I became more involved and more educated as a traveler, sure, I actually never really used Expedia. We were Orbitz family. We did Orbitz all the time, as far as like site, but versus the Expedia landing page. But now, as just like because I know so much about like properties and how it works, I might use an OTA for maybe research purposes, but I always go book direct. Also keep in mind, I have an IATA number and I can book like that. So, I mean, it's like, I've got my own ways of booking. But yeah, I mean, for me, I actually find them as an interesting way to kind of like search and get ideas of places sometimes, but then I ultimately end up booking direct.
So what you're saying is you're your own OTA with your IATA number.
Correct. I am my own OTA. Exactly.
And for those listeners out there that don't know what an IATA number is, why don't you explain for everybody? Because I have.
Whoa, I feel like everybody on here should probably know, but no,
I don't think so. I didn't know about it till I signed up.
Oh, wait, what? Okay, we need to talk about that. So yeah, an IATA number, travel agents use IATA numbers, and that's how they can track their bookings and then get commissions accordingly. And then depending on the travel agency and the volume that they do, there's certain perks that are associated with them. So the travel agencies that I work with, we do a very, very, very high volume. So with that comes like preferred partner perks or virtuoso. So we're not necessarily and then sometimes you can even get better rates than the ones that are listed directly online on the website. But again, having those additional perks that you can offer to other people that you're booking, you get $100 extra F&B credit, a late checkout based on availability, all that jazz. So, yeah, that's what an IATA number is.
Thank you for that education for all of us. Very good. But yes, I'm happy to see, that Expedia continues to grow. It's good. I always want to see businesses grow. That means travel is growing. They're helping people get into new places. And then, hey, it's up to the hotel to make them your own customer once they get there through Expedia.
Totally. So, yeah, I mean, again, interesting to see the growth. I mean, there's something for everybody. And I also think it's just how people are trained. And so many individuals are just trained to go to OTAs and to book direct. So
Christelle is saying P-Way is for the plates and utensils. I'm going to check it out. And free commercial for P-Way, if it actually does a good job, we'll let everybody know.
Yep. I love that. Okay, that's kind of cool. I don't know how did you know that, Christelle?
Well, she's in it. Maybe she's doing research as our research assistant on the back end for us. Thank you very much.
Maybe. It's great. All right. Let's head on to our next topic here. Be mindful of the time. So this is interesting. So demand for rail and bus travel surges during this air travel chaos. Not a surprise. By the way, I've had a number of Uber drivers as I've been like in different places. Like, oh, how's it been? And I've had at least like 3 different people say to me, oh, if I got stuck in a bunch of delays, I would just hop on a train. And I'm like, I would not, but a lot of people are. Well, no, it's not convenient in the United States. That's all I have to say about that. It's like, but it's interesting. But what's interesting is this is kind of like future looking. Bookings for buses and trains during the Thanksgiving holiday are already outpacing last year. But it makes sense. Like, I mean, if you can do that, like let's say you live in New York and you go down to DC, it probably just makes sense to hop on a train versus.
Yeah, you know me. I love my Brightline train down here in South Florida. I love it. And if I could travel that way everywhere, I would do it in a second. I just wish we were more interconnected. Like Europe has their train system so well set up. I wish we had it here. And I was talking to my friend, the CEO of Brightline Trains, Patrick Goddard. Can't give out exact numbers, but they're doing very well. Right. And it continues to grow, and more people are experiencing that type of travel, and they continue to use it. And so I'm excited just to see it continue to grow as an option. But then I was looking at an article yesterday that came up on my feed of someone who took an Amtrak train from Miami to New York. It was a 30-hour train ride. And I'm just like, that doesn't make sense yet.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
No, like, I'm going to get on that flight for 3 hours and, save that time. But I guess if the train is the destination, but then you look at it and it's not really very posh. You get a 1-bedroom suite for $1,000, and it's like, I'm not gonna.
It's challenging. I mean, that's the whole thing. I mean, I know a lot of people romanticize like the train travel that's in Europe, and they're like, oh, we should do it better. And it's like, but like you can't compare just because of the sheer size of the US. Also, once you get to the destination, you're also, generally speaking, car dependent. Bigger cities like New York or even Miami or Chicago, you can kind of get around without necessarily having a car, but Los Angeles, like absolutely not. And it's funny because we've got Amtrak in Southern California. And I know so many people that take it down from Los Angeles to San Diego. I have never done it. I can't believe you've never done it. I'm like, well, what am I going to do when I get to San Diego? And then like, I don't have a car. Like, I'm just going to drive down just so then I have my car and I can be in control of it. So I think that's like a really big challenge. It's just like the sheer size of our country, but then also what are you doing when you get to the destination? And then, as you mentioned, how long it might take. So it's interesting. It's not for everybody.
No, I think it's going to grow more and more if we can do it the right way.
Totally.
It needs great operators, but you get it's that romantic idea what you see like the Orient Express and all these ultra like high-end trains, and the ones that have like the clear roofs that go through Canada. Like those things are on my list to go check.
We've got like the Rocky, it's like, what is the Rocky Mountaineer? The one, I think it goes through parts of Colorado and everything. Will probably knows about that in the background. But yeah, so he's like, yes, I do know about that. I mean, gorgeous, but that's also very specific, and you're going for that, and that's what that is. But
I'm curious for listeners and viewers on our live, would you take a train to a location if you knew that it was nice and dependable? I'm curious to see what you all think.
I mean, to me, the answer is a yes. It just has to make sense, like time-wise and all of that, or be the experience itself.
Oh, Christelle said there is no P-Way, but I like that name of the company. Let's create it, Christelle. P-Way. She said she was driving and voice texting meant weigh the plates and utensils. I know, but I want exact counts of everything.
We have a new name, Christelle.
P-Way. P-Way. Perfect. All right. Lou says that yes, if train was nice and efficient and dependable. That's why I like Brightline. It's always on time. They serve me food. It's nice. Got my Wi-Fi. I can work there. I needed to go more places. Come on, Patrick and Brightline. Let's build me some more stations. I know how hard it is.
Let's see if Brightline really gets it together and does like the Los Angeles, Las Vegas thing. That would crazy. Be cool. It's been a long time. They've been talking about that for over 20 years. So One day.
Let's see. Good morning,
Oh, look.
Scott. Thanks for joining.
Good morning, Mr. Nathan. Oh man, happy belated birthday, sir.
And this one says, yes, of course, you should take the train in your trip. So when I go to Italy, I may hop on a train. I don't have a train trip planned, but I'll let you know what I find on one of those days.
Yeah, you could do that. That'd be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I've definitely done it all throughout Germany.
We
Yeah.
just went through all of our stories like that quick. Amazing.
Woo! Yeah, exactly. No, we definitely did. So why don't we get into our real-time recap? What have you seen out? Oh yeah.
Well,
big fan of Brightline.
Yes, big fan of Brightline. I wish it was available everywhere. Great experience and would be a game changer for other locations. I agree with you, Kate. I agree. Yep. Catherine saying in Europe, high-speed trains are more expensive than planes, and you need more days off if you want to go on a city trip. Wow, I did not know that, Catherine. It's more expensive than planes. Interesting.
It can be.
Why would that be? Oh, we talked about that on one of our stories because they were getting government subsidies for the planes to make it cheaper to fly on trains or on planes versus the trains.
Yep.
Trains versus planes. Yes.
Yes.
All right. I need some more coffee.
Same. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Scott Nathan is coming to Miami tonight.
All right, Scott.
Watch out.
MIA is ready for you. So real-time recap. Right. Where have you been? You're in Phoenix. Anything you want to give a shout out to in Phoenix?
Let me see what's been going on. It's interesting. We had a great dinner last night at this restaurant called Kabuki, and they remembered us from 9 months ago, which is kind of fun. So cool. That's always cool. Again, it's the simple things where just like the server remembers you and you're like, that was 9 months ago. How did that happen? But you just leave feeling good, mm-hmm. which is kind of a fun thing. Shout out to LAX. I traveled yesterday. I'll be traveling back home today in a few hours. Smooth as can be. TSA agents, friendly, nice. Everything was good. But, so I mean, all in all, everybody's keeping it moving.
I like it. Well, for me, I get to have dinner with my friend Antonio last night at a restaurant called Amara at Paraiso. We got up and it's on the water. There's not many waterfront restaurants in Miami, and that's one of them. And just great hospitality. Love how they treated us. Amazing food. Got the views. Well, I'm getting into something now. I got to work on what I'm going to call it. I think I'm working on call it the mocha pot philosophy for me, but it's like old school things that still resonate now, like slowing down a little bit. And they had this postcard at the restaurant. This is a postcard giving out for free. Okay. And I'm going to send this postcard to somebody. So if you want a postcard from me, give me your address. I'm going to send it. I'm going to start writing more. So if you find out I'm asking you for your address, don't freak out.
I just want
a thank you card or a note. I'm going to start doing more of this. So I'm going to this philosophy of let's slow down, go to things that are small and nice touches that are centuries old, but still resonate today. So I'm trying to work on that philosophy now because I bought a mocha pot recently. It takes a long time to make coffee, but it just tastes better. I feel good making the ritual, so I'm working on it. I
like that you've called it a mocha pot philosophy. That's great. I mean,
I think it's the next book. It clicked with me as I was doing it.
Okay. Yeah. I'm a fan of this. By the way, not necessarily real-time recap, but I did want to do a shout out because we there was the Los Angeles Wine and Food Festival, which was just in LA. That was a lot of fun. It was really cool to see all the chefs coming out. And just again, in a time where it's challenging for a lot of restaurants in bigger cities. It was kind of nice to see everybody was out and about. Get this, regular tickets were $175 per person. That's bananas.
And then expensive.
What?
Was that cheap or expensive?
I think that's it. I think that's kind of expensive. If you're two people and it's $175 per person and you're going for 2 hours to sample bites of food.
It depends. I think it might be the same wine and food festival as Miami's.
Yes, it is.
So they're donating a lot of that.
Okay.
But also, that's expensive. There's tickets here that are $500-$600 for the event, depending on which event you're going to or more.
Yeah, totally. And VIP. And for sure. Look, I'm not saying that they should change their business model.
Yeah. No, I was curious to see 175 these days is kind of it's crazy. We start to think, oh, that's not that bad because everything's so expensive now. To go to any sporting event or concert or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I mean, I'm just saying that adds up. And it's if you're two people, looking for an activity on a weekend, that
Yeah. And you're
is
not a big drinker either. So if you're not enjoying all the wines,
oh,
that's
no, no,
another
no, no.
part. You're having a
If
couple bites and you're full.
that is true. That's actually very true. Because I'm not a big drinker. I think that would probably sometimes that I wonder, I'm like, oh, I guess that skews my how much things
Value.
cost generally. I mean, yeah, that's a whole other thing, but that's wild.
True. But I'm glad you got to go. Check that out. I love our wine and food festival here coming in February. So if you're here in Miami, that's the best time of year to be here.
Yeah. Oh, it's I got to come next year.
Yeah, for sure.
So
make it happen.
We'll
We're skifters now. We can make that skift. We'll get in at skift. Come on, Will. Can we get on
All
there?
right. Come on, Will. Oh, man. All right. Let's get to our quote of the week.
Let's do it.
All right.
All right. Quote of the week. The hotels that thrive aren't the ones that predict change. They're the ones built to move with it. Mm-hmm. Ooh, I like that very much. What comes to mind when you think of that quote?
So it actually reminds me, and it probably was an article that was from Skift that was talking about luxury hotels. And the whole thing with luxury hotels, it's not necessarily being super predictive, because obviously that's part of it, but it's like how they kind of like weather the storm, weather change. And it's all about being nimble and flexible. So, yeah, I mean, that's what it is. Ultimately, it's like that. Here's the thing. It's like, as much as we need to predict and want to predict, it's a business. It's so many factors go into it. And, we just have to be able to kind of like jump through hoops, jump with the punch. I don't know. Like it's different. So, I mean, to me, it makes complete sense. I mean, that's how a successful hotel lasts.
And I think about what you sent me yesterday, and something that we both caught our eye was Ian Schrager talking about independent hotels.
Oh, yeah.
They can be creative and really unique and really set the trend that everybody else ends up copying is
Totally.
what comes to mind there. So being creative, really thinking about the guest, but also creating new experiences for people. So
should we have Ian on? We should have him on.
All right, Ian Schrager, if you're listening, we're going to come get you. Come on over. You'd be great on the podcast. We do have a lot of people reaching out now, which is awesome. A lot of CEOs of different groups. I think we should start having some more of them on. Would be a lot of fun.
I think so too. We can do that. It'd be a lot of fun. So,
all right.
Sweet.
A great episode, Sarah.
Great one. All right. I know. Very fun. A little bit different.
Yeah, I liked it. We talked some good things. I'll be traveling, so when I get back, hopefully I'll have some cool stories when I get back here. And for anyone out there, I'm serious now. You want me to send you a thank you card, postcard, or something? Give me your address. Send me a private message. I'm building out my mailing list. I want to see if I can really make this happen. I think it's something nice about getting something in the mail. My handwriting's like third grade level. Maybe. I don't think I passed penmanship at that level. So we'll get there.
My gosh, we got to work on that. But yes, I love that idea.
Yeah. All right. Well, until next week, everybody.
You know the drill.
Stay hospitable.
Stay hospitable. We didn't even sync. That's amazing.
Bye.
Want to stop juggling spreadsheets, calendars, and a dozen apps just to run your rentals? Lodgify makes it easy. It's an all-in-one toolkit for hosts. Build a direct booking website, automate guest messaging, and keep all your channels in sync. Running your rental business your way has never been simpler. And for Good Morning Hospitality listeners, you can get 20% off any yearly plan with code GMH20. Just check the link in the show notes to get started today.